What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do our sealed product and slabs over $1,000. Starting off, we have an OP12 sealed booster box case in English, 1,300 bucks. I think that comes out to about 108.50, 109 per booster box. These continuing to move up week over week. And honestly, guys, stay tuned to the end of the video because you're going to see some ridiculous sales. I know there's going to be someone in the comments saying that some of these are manipulated and not believe everything. So craziness, and then also we'll do the giveaway right at the end. But after that, we have the super pre-release starter deck. This is STO1. It has the Luffy promo inside, $1,300 for a sealed starter deck. You will also see the promo showing up here in a PSA 10, I believe, later on in this video. Then we have a Romance Dawn blue bottom booster box, $3,300 or best offer. Threw it into 130 point, $3,299. It did indeed sell for. Lots of other ones selling. You can see here $3,000, another one at 3K back early October, but these two happened this week, both at or above 3,000 USD. Now, normally we don't see a lot of sealed booster box cases in English moving, but this week there was a ton of product just flying. Starting off, we had an EBO1 booster box case, very rare item, selling for $4,799, almost 4,800 USD. That's about 400 bucks per box in a sealed case. Then we had a Paramount War sealed booster box case sell. If you guys didn't know, the original Romance Dawn run and then also Paramount War, they were a different shape box. This sold for $4,999 USD or best offer. It did indeed sell for that almost $5,000 price point. Then we had a case of OP05, Awakening the New Era. This went for 4,500 euros. That's approximately $5,200 USD. And there were multiple cases of OP05 that sold this week. This is just the one I brought up. I think there was like 2 or 3, maybe even 4, with one I think going as high as like $5,750 USD. Crazy. And after that, PRBO1, speaking of expensive items here, this went for 5,200 euros, approximately $6,000 USD. That wasn't even the most expensive case of PRBO1 to go. There was one here, 6,750 USD or best offer. It did indeed sell for 6,750. And there were multiple other cases of PRBO1 that sold this week. I think there was 5 in total as well. So there's definitely been a trend to buying up a lot of the sealed product, especially with the run. We've already seen a lot of cards go on. I think people just feel a little bit safer in sealed right now. Speaking of sealed product, Romance Dawn white bottom booster box case, $12,000 USD. And that wasn't even the most expensive sale we saw this week for sealed product. There was a massive lot here through a liquidator carrying on his will booster box case times 20. So 20 cases, $34,000 USD. I think if I remember correctly, this comes out to like $140, $141 per booster box. So it's a fairly decent price, but somebody bought up a massive position. I don't know if it's going to go to a rip and ship or an LGS or something like that. Either way, very huge deal. Now we'll get into some cards here. We'll go in ascending order like always. Starting off, we have a Sogeking manga from OP03. This went for about 1,924 USD or best offer. There was actually a huge best offer taken on this of 924 USD. Now, what I'm thinking that actually is British pounds. We've had multiple instances where 130 point doesn't get the currency correct, and if it is in pounds, that would be about $1,215 USD, which I think is more realistic than this card selling for 924 at this point. Again, could be wrong, but just because we've seen that issue with 130 point before, I think that's what's going on there. Now after that, we have a Boa Hancock SP. This is from OP09 in English. PSA 10, $1,000 or best offer. They took a best offer here of 945 USD. So still a massive sale on this Boa Hancock. I think we saw this maybe show up last week or in the midweek update for like $675, 700 bucks, something like that. Getting close to $1,000 here. This is one of those cards continuing to climb. And speaking of cards continuing to climb, we have a couple more interesting ones here. We have the Vegapunk error card from EBO2. This in a PSA 10. Pop is only 18. Total pop is 21. This went for $974.99 or best offer. It did indeed sell for $975. The reason I included this is because when I do the search, I put a minimum of 1,000 and it was initially showing up as like 1,250. So I don't know if the seller changed the listing price or whatever, but for some reason it showed up in the rankings, and I figured we'd throw it in here. I think the last time we saw one of these show up, it was like $700, I think. So this is moving towards $1,000. And speaking of cards, moving towards $1,000, we have the Boa Hancock SP from Kingdoms of Intrigue, $1,000 or best offer, and this did indeed sell for $1,000. Crazy, guys. This Boa Hancock SP, now a 4-digit card in a PSA 10. I don't know if this is going to be an outlier sale. Seems kind of extreme that we jumped from like $550, $600 all the way up to $1,000, but I guess if the 09 version is getting close to 1,000 as well, kind of makes sense that the 04 version is also getting to that point. Now after that, you guys already got a glimpse. It is the Monkey D Luffy from EBO2. Very rare card in a 10. There's only 12 pop. Total pop is 12 as well, so 100% gem rate so far. This went in a 10 for $1,053 on auction through PSA. Then we have the Jewelry Bonnie Manga PSA 10, $1,150 USD, pretty standard price there. After that, we do have the Luffy from the Super Pre-Release Starter Deck going for $1,375 in a PSA 10. So considering this is what the PSA 10 is going for, it kind of makes sense why the sealed starter deck is going for like $1,300 now. Kind of crazy. After that, we have the Trafalgar Law Altart from Romance Dawn, and this went for $2,000 at best offer, threw it into 130 point. It sold for 1,520 USD. I kind of want to go through some of these a little bit fast too, just because I can see that we're probably already at like 7 minutes. So we have the Nami SP from OPL 5. This is an interesting one. It is autographed by Akemi Okamura, and I believe that she is the voice actor for Nami. This did indeed sell $1,525 in a PSA 10. Then we have another Gold Shanks. We talked about this yesterday. One went for 1,000. This one went for 2,500 or best offer, and a best offer of 1,600 USD was taken. So crazy sale here on the Shanks. We're gonna have to keep our eyes on this going forward. Then we have a Zoro promo here. This is from the Championship 2025-2026 top 16 card, $1,625 in a PSA 10. PSA 10 pop, by the way, 162, total pop 168, so very high gem rate. Then we have Gear 4 Luffy from OPL 11, PSA 10 manga, $1,725. Those have basically doubled in a couple of months, crazy. Then we have a Monkey D Luffy BGS 10 Black Label. I believe this is from the 2nd anniversary set in English, 2,475 Canadian, which is approximately $1,767 USD. After that, we have a gold Blackbeard from OP12. This in a PSA 10 went for $2,100, so massive sale there. Again, by contrast, the Jewelry Bonnie Manga is like $1,150, so this is basically almost double the price for the gold SP. Then we have a Boa Hancock manga here, PSA 10, $2,125. This might be the highest sale we have seen on a Boa Hancock manga that isn't in a BGS 10 or a Black Label. Then after that, we have the Luffy Dodgers promo. I'm laughing because I watched the game tonight, man, and I am still depressed. The Blue Jays absolutely choked. Either way, $2,300 here, but it's funny because after the game ended, I started to research this video, and when sorting by most recent, this is literally all you see is just the Luffy Dodgers promo selling. I think probably like 15 or 20 of these sold after the game ended within like an hour or two. It's crazy how many of these moved today. It's insane. We are going to keep track of the PSA 10 and where it ends up over the next week or two. Again, like long term, Dodgers winning the World Series doesn't mean too much, but in the short term, you might have that little spike in popularity. And I know I said we were going to cover this basically every day just to see what's happening, but honestly, I might have to put it on the back burner for a couple days because it is just a little bit painful to be looking at that card right now. But moving on, we have an Ace PSA 10 manga. This is from Paramount War, 2,600 or best offer. It did indeed sell for 2,600. And the most recent one before that, October 8th, $2,400. So I guess slightly moving up is the Ace. Then we have an interesting set here. This is from the 1st anniversary English. This is a sequential PSA 10 set, so probably very rare, honestly. $3,200 or best offer. It does seem like an offer of $3,100 was accepted. Again, the sealed product I think is like only $750 still for the box. I know that there's probably a little bit of a premium just because this is a sequential set, but still I feel like there's probably still a play there buying up some of those sealed boxes. Now after that, we have another interesting card here. This is a Luffy. This is a serialized Luffy, but I believe in Korean. I think this might be the first time we've seen a Korean One Piece card show up in these videos, but this went for $3,180 USD. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, I checked 130 point just to be sure there was no offer that came in. So it did indeed sell for that price. After that, we have a Zoro, $3,200. Again, same thing. I don't think there was a best offer sent out on this. The Zoro still holding strong around $3,000 in a PSA 10. Then we have the EBO2 manga Luffy, $3,550 in a 10. This again is another one of those mangas holding fairly strong. Some of them we've seen slight pullbacks on, but honestly, a lot of them are holding better than I expected. Now after that, we have a huge sale here, and I don't really know what's going on with this. I don't know if there's just not a ton of the BGS 10 Namis, but either way, in English, this sold for $4,226 on auction from a very small seller too, only 46 feedback. Kind of crazy when the PSA 10 version of this card is going for like $2,300, something like that now, I believe. This again was a slab that you could buy for like sub $1,000 back in the summer. Just crazy how things are moving. After that, we have a Monkey D. Luffy Super Pre-Release Winner card in a PSA 10. This went for $6,500 or best offer. Threw it in 130 point, $4,750 was the offer accepted. Then we have the Nami. This is the New Year event winner card, PSA 10. PSA 10 pop, 68, total pop, 79. So a fairly rare card here. Went for $8,000 or best offer. In 130 point, a $5,000 offer was accepted. And you can see here, the prior one that sold, actually maybe you can't see that because I'm planning to zoom in, $2,200 back on October 3rd. So basically doubled within a month has that Nami. Now we have Gold Luffy. This is from OP11. This in a PSA 10 went for $6,100 or best offer. Best offer of $5,555.55 was accepted. To me, out of all the cards we've looked at today, this is one of the cards that I think probably will pull back over the next, I don't know, 90 days, 120 days, just because with all the OP11 coming to market, more of these are going to get pulled, more of them are going to inevitably get graded, and thus we're probably going to see a pullback in price. But either way, even if this holds around like, I don't know, $5,000, $4,000 even, that's still a decent price for the Gold Luffy. Now after that, we have the alternate art Luffy from OP05. This is the Ichiro stamped version, $6,050 in a PSA 10. A lot of these sell on a weekly basis, so I just pulled up one auction, but I saw them go as low as I think like $4,800 and as high as almost $7,000. So there's still a range on these, but I think that $6,000 is probably a decent average. I don't know, maybe the median's a little bit lower. We'd have to go check all of them, but it's probably in like the 5,500 to 6,000 range. Now after that, we have Pre-Rata Luffy from Romance Dawn. If you guys have been watching these videos, I think this one is high as like almost $8,000 or $10,000. We had a couple crazy sales back in October. This one went 7K or best offer. It sold for $6,750, so still respectable. There was also another one that went same day, $7,000 from a different seller. And then a couple more cards here to close up the video. We have Gear 5 Luffy from Awakening the New Era, PSA 10, $8,000. There was 4 or 5 of these as well that sold this week, a lot through PSA. I think one went like 7,900, one went 8,100. So it's in this 8K range still, and I don't expect it to drop. I also brought up the BGS 10 version that sold 10,000 or best offer, and it did indeed sell $9,000 on October 29th. And then a couple more here. We have a serialized Luffy in English, PSA 10. This went 11K or best offer. It sold for $9,350. That seems a little bit low to me, at least based on the recent sales we've been seeing in PSA 10 and BGS 10 form. But if I'm being honest, I'm not even mad about that because honestly, when I look at this card, I'm not a huge fan of the artwork. I also don't like the way that Bandai's been doing like the backgrounds for the serialized cards. It's just too plain. I think that you should have more going on. Like if it's going to be a serialized card, it's going to be something rare and special. you should probably put a little more effort into it. That's just my opinion. And then one more card here to close up the video. We have a BGS 10 black label of the Luffy from the Japanese Shonen Jump magazine. This went for $12,100. Kind of ridiculous that we already have a black label going in the 5 digits on this. I would not recommend buying this card as an investment for $12,000. That is just insane in my opinion, but someone with deep pockets obviously disagrees with me. That's going to be it for the video in terms of all the cards and sealed product updates. Obviously, I think the big takeaway, tons of sealed product moving this week, everything from Romance Dawn cases to PRBO1 to even OPO5 moving, and then also just a boatload of OP13 just continuing to change hands. Now, yesterday I said in this video, because we did get to 5,000 subscribers, if you guys didn't watch yesterday's video, thank you again for getting to 5,000 subscribers. Crazy the growth on this channel. We're going to take the URL here. We're going to go over to Random Comment Picker. We are doing a giveaway here for 1 lifetime access to the market spreadsheet. So what we're going to do is throw this in here. We are going to not include replies, and we're not going to allow duplicates. Anything goes, click continue, and it's going to load all the comments up. After that, click pick a winner here. And there you go, EP4151, let's go. Congratulations. The best way to get a hold of me is just shoot me an email at strawhatspeculator@gmail.com. Or if you don't mind people seeing your email, because again, it is a Google Sheet, what you can do is you can just reply to this video on this account, this YouTube account, and just write your email, and then I'll send the link directly to that email if you want to go about it that way. If you want to be a little bit more private, just shoot me an email. We'll confirm that it's basically your YouTube account, and then after that, I'll send off the invite. So with all that said, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. One Piece is alive and well. We have tons of product exchanging hands. If you guys are planning to buy anything, eBay, TCG Player, Hobbiesville, I have affiliate links down below. Again, you don't have to use them, no pressure at all, but if you're planning to buy something, all you have to do is click on it before you do your shopping you already plan to do. I'll get a small percentage of that sale at no extra cost to you, so it's a free and easy way to support the channel. But with that said, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.